I bought an electric window motor for my FLD. These doors still operates with air, and the problem is if you shut the truck down and your air drops below certain level, you can't operate your windows. So I bought on Amazon these replacement window regulators, but I'm sitting with a problem now. As you can see, this is a top mounting point which mounts there, but these mounting points, this bracket goes onto this rod, and it is fastened onto there. But if I put it at the same height as where this bar with the air regulator, so the window, that thing goes through here and it's held on with this clip. So if I put it here, the problem is this is the lowest I can go, and I need to go to around here. So if I move this to a position where, because I'm going to cut this off here, make two holes in there to fasten this onto that bracket that's holding the window. So now I need to move this down to around this position, and then make a bracket to extend this bracket so that I can fasten it to the holes in the top panel here, those two holes. So the brackets is going to sit around there, and then that part is going to be lengthened, and then at the bottom there's going to be new holes to drill into this panel there, and also on this cover panel there's going to be new holes in this. So yeah, that's what I'm going to start with now. Right, this is the stop, the bottom stop for the window. So I've took the measurements from there to the same height where that bracket goes onto the door handle, and from that I worked out that the total distance, this needs to be longer, is 50 millimeters center from this hole to that position. So I'm going to make a bracket, a piece of plate 50 millimeters longer, and then the same width as that. Right, I've measured out two pieces, so 71 millimeters across here and 60 millimeters across here. Made it about 1 centimeter, 10 millimeter longer. I can always cut off the material that's not needed. Right, so I'm going to cut it now, and then attach it. I've welded on extension bracket. I've put rib nuts there in this plate, and then there's button heads there. So this is basically how it's going to sit. I did check for the movement of this spring cable thing inside. This will work, so it's able to move up and down. So right, first step is finished. Now we have to modify that window bracket. Cut it off here, mark the holes and drill holes in it, and then attach it to this bracket. So this will move up and down, and then we have to transfer these holes to attach it to this door plate. So yeah, that's gonna be a bit more tricky, but that's the next step. So these are my switches for the power windows. Quite expensive switches these, but they are good quality. So yeah, I have to install them in the place of the air lever valves that's inside the cab. Here you can see this is the switches where you activate the windows with the air. So I'm going to take this out and replace them with that electrical switches. So then it's going to work with electricity much better. The other thing is I'm still struggling with these air leaks, as well as air leaks on this where you activate the heater, aircon and that stuff. I must fix the air leaks there. I got some new plugs here to fit on the regulators. This is the plug that this regulator comes with, and I don't have exact same plug, so I'm going to cut the wires here and put one of these plugs on there, and then the other plug going into the truck towards the switch. Right, I've cut a piece of 4.8 millimeter aluminium, marine grade, which is hard. This is also very hard aluminium stuff. So I think this might be 2024 grade or even 7075 maybe. This is 5082 aluminium. So I'm not going to weld it on here because there's a rubber seal inside, and this window or this glass might also crack from the heat, and this rubber seal in there might will melt. So I'm going to bolt it on here, which will be sufficient, and the reason why I've made it to go up all the way to there is so that pushing up it will not put all the load on this one thin piece, but on this thicker piece. So I'm gonna mark out the holes, drill through there and bolt this onto here, and then drill 2 holes and tap it for screws, and then this bracket is gonna go at the back side of the bolted from that side into this piece of aluminium, and that will be, hopefully that will be enough, strong enough. I think so. I mean, this window is heavy, but I mean it's not, the bolt will, the only thing that's worrying me is it might start making these holes bigger. That's why the it must be very, very tight bolted on there, so there's no way for moving of this piece of aluminium. Once aluminium starts to move, it will start to eat away on the inside of the hole, and that is not what I want. So I'm gonna get the right bolts to hold it on there and make sure there's no interference going up and down with other things. The holes is tapped. I've put 2 stainless steel button head screws through there, and on this side, come focus, it's sticking out too much, but I'm also going to put a half nut on there. A half nut is a thin nut, and then cut off the excess material protruding from there, and then Loctite everything up. So yeah, that will hold this piece firmly in place. So now the next step is to mark out the holes here, 2 holes here for this bracket, and then tap them as well. So as you can see, this is how this bracket is going to sit. That's the top part of the window that goes into the door. So yeah, it's gonna be very sturdy on here. The reason why I cut that tab off to that length is so that this can sit flush on this adapter that I've made. If I've cut it the same length as this adapter, it's going to sit over it, and the holes, as you can see, that's the width of those slots. So it's kind of would have interfered with the sides of that little piece. Okay. The holes for the bracket is drilled and tapped, and I've cut off this plug, so I'm gonna put on a new plug here, and then push the window in and see. First I'm gonna take this out, spray paint this before it goes into the truck permanently. Okay, I've installed the roof nuts up there, painted the bracket. At the bottom here, I'm going to install roof nuts as well. Just going to make it easier. I've tried to tap these holes in here, but the material is not strong enough, so it started to bend. So I just drilled the hole bigger. I'm gonna fit roof nuts in here, or blind nuts as it's called in America, in the States. Right, the bracket is installed, and the half nuts installed, so now it can go back into the truck. And then I just have to cut smaller or shorter bolts for this, so that this also does not extrude past that height of the half nut. Right, window motor is installed. It's a piece of wire and just a drill battery. I'm going to have to cut away a small corner there, because it's catching on top of the gearbox casing. The window doesn't come down to its stop. This is the window stop in the door. So I'm just going to cut away a small piece there, corner there. The mark there on the corner is for that. I'm just going to measure. I think I still need a small distance to, let me just get the measuring tool here. So there is about 15 millimeters. I need to cut on the inside of that line, on the top of that line, and it will be okay. Okay, so I've cut away that distance. So yeah, hopefully it's gonna go down to its position. Let's hold thumbs. Okay, my all my leakages is back, and my wire is connected, plug is connected, and it's going through there. And I've put ref nuts in here, and then I've put a screw from the back with a sharp point. When I put the cover plate on, I just lightly tap it to mark the position of the holes in the plate. So the next step is to drill these holes. Into that plate. Okay, the panel is on, and the motor is bolted onto this cover plate. I had a problem where the window was binding when it was fully down. So I just put a spacer. I will show you, take this panel off again now, and then I will show you what I did to get rid of this problem, because it was binding so much that the motor wasn't strong enough to push the window up. But yeah, it's working now. And okay, so the inspection plate is off now. I've installed ref nuts for 5mm screws to hold this inspection plate in place. And here you can see I had to slightly kink this more, and then here at the top this rod was bent like that, and I just flattened this bent a little bit and bend this more to prevent it from catching here. And as you can see, there's a little cutout here for this top bolt. As I've mentioned previously, I've installed ref nuts into this ears, these tabs, to hold it into place. What happened was that bracket that holds the window that's moving up and down, as it was in its bottom position, it was 5mm away from this plate. So if you pull this in with the screws, it's actually pulling the center of the window this way, so it's binding inside the slides, so it can't move up and down. So I've made a small piece that I put in between the bracket and the piece holding it onto the window bottom. As you can see here, there's a little 5mm block that I've put in between this bracket and that bracket that's holding the window. So now the window is sliding up and down very easily. As I said, this kink, I've flattened it a bit and I've bent it more at the bottom here, so the door latch is still working. There's my plug connecting my wire, so the wire I'm gonna run through here and then through these holes and then behind these cover up into the dash, all the way through to that side to the switches which sits there. And then yeah, then I can start with the door on the other side. I also need to get new rubbers around the door, and then as well as this top piece here. You don't get these rubbers anymore. This is just universal rubbers. But yeah, today I was busy with this door. The motor regulator is installed, and I had some issues with this locking lever, so I'm used some epoxy to fix that. So tomorrow I will sort that out. Yeah, everything is in place. I must just drill the holes in this cover plate to connect these and these, and then in the small cover plate is that hole, and then yeah, that's about it for this job so far. The thing is, nowhere on YouTube I could find something similar. Well, there's guys that like Trucker AK, who also got a classic FLD. He changed his window motor, but obviously he had a window electric regulator in, another air regulator, so there was no video on the modifications that was needed. So yeah, this window is in, everything is working, so it's just the fine stuff. I also put in the new door latch, and I also adjusted the hinge. I've loosened up that. I had to lift the door a little bit because it was too close. The bottom of the door was too close. When the rubber goes over this skid plate, the rubber got damaged every time, so I just lifted the door about 5 millimeters higher. Yeah, also new rubbers, got to put new rubbers all around, and then this doors will work nicely. Okay, this is the lock button in the door there. This part was worn down on this side, so that rod protruded too far on this side, and then it caught. It's difficult to see now, but it caught there on the rear side. So I folded up with epoxy. Look, and waited for the epoxy to harden, and then drill a new hole, work it away with the tool, and then yeah, now it's fixed, it's solid, and it can go into its place. There it is. sliding up and down easily now, so I can just put it here. Right, it's in now for the lock, plastic piece to lock on the rear. Okay, so now we can lock the door, and if we pull this latch here, it unlocks, which it couldn't do before. Alright, now it's the panel is ready to go on. What I'm going to do first is put the new door rubbers on. Somebody put silicone at the bottom to hold it in place, but it's because the door wasn't fixed in the right position, so I'm gonna do that. I must remove these air pipes and then lay the new wires for the window control into the dashboard. Alright, the door rubbers, or the door rubber, is in, and the wires are tied down. This is the cable for the switch for the window going through there. It needs to go in there, and the switch is sitting right there. So yeah, it's at the bottom, the clearance is good. Door is opening very nice now. So now I can put this cover back and put the upholstery back on. Yeah, I need to connect this arm here. Then I can start with the other door on the other side. I still need to finish. Okay, the panel is on. Everything, the window regulator is tied down to these positions. This is the wire connecting the light on the door panel. There's a light there on the door panel, so, and the door, the door closes nicely now. Everything is tight. New latch is working good. Okay. Now we just have to put in that rod there, and then we can start on the other side. Okay. This is the switch that works with air, and this is the electrical switches that must go into these, in these holes. But these holes are slightly bigger, so when the switch goes through there, this nut, outside nut, is not going to lock it up in place. So I must modify this. I'm just contemplating what I'm gonna do, but yeah, I'll have to fix it, otherwise make a new panel here, and I don't want to do that. Okay, I've decided to make a new panel out of stainless steel. It's going to be quicker, and make sure that that hole is the right size so that that switch doesn't move around. Okay, the cover plate is finished. I'm just finishing up these wires for the lights, and then the switches can go on. All right, wiring is done. Reverse polarity switch, all the plugs connected, so now it can go into the truck. Well, I first need to connect the wiring up from the power bus and the trip switch coming in on this side and on that switch, and going out to the window on this one and this one. The right hand side, left hand side. So I'm lying in bed last night and I'm thinking, you know, this panel is up, everything is good, and then it suddenly dawned on me, I'm sitting with the problem. You see this tube where the chain or spring moves up and down? I've tucked it in here in the corner with the open end up. What's gonna happen? Water coming down from up there from the outside, passing the seal. Water is going to end up, moisture is going to end up into this tube, and this spring thing is going to get rust inside here. So I need to open up that door again and close up that open end. Man, you know what? I thought I was going to finish up everything when everything is working. I'm going to close it up. But yeah, I've closed up that one yesterday, and last night while lying in bed thinking about things, that problem popped up. Right. I've plugged the end of the tube with a piece of neoprene rubber that I've cut with the thin snips, just a small piece that I've trimmed to go and pushed it in there. So yeah, the only place where moisture will get in is in the back side where it's open, where your slide goes up and down. Moisture will get in there, but that end is closed, so no water will come in there. Holy crap. I need to take out this circuit breaker to use on the FLD. This is in the FLB behind the panel. Good Lord. They've buggered up this wiring. Holy moly. Sure. It's gonna take me a long time to figure this shit out and to fix it. I've never seen something like this. Okay, I've inserted this trip switch here, so now I'm gonna lay a wire from there going up here, and then sorry, up there and coming through there, and this is where the switches are going to sit. So yeah, alright, there's this circuit breaker trip switch I'm getting the power from. Wire is running up And then yeah, this is where the switch panel or the window switches sit. All the wires are tucked up. So now I can close up this panel. Left window. Down, that's up. Right window, down. No, sorry, left window. Left window up. The panel is finished. The wiring is connected. All the plugs is on. Those two lights are connected to the light switch. So in the night, at night, you switch on your lights. Those two lights goes on. Right, left window. Down, up. Right window, down, up. Right, now it's just get all these wires neatly tucked away, and then we can start closing up everything.